Welcome to ptlarts.com, back in Brighton, back in the studio. Okay, so this is going to be like the final push on the acrylic part of this portrait, and then I'll go on and do oils on top. So I may well not finish this as an acrylic painting, but I'll have it ready so that I can work with the oils on top. It is possible, of course, to carry on and have an acrylic painting, which is perfectly fine. But the purpose of this exercise is this is what I do with every portrait I do. I get to this point, finish it off today, and then the next thing I go on to oils. So I'll just quickly show you again the what I'm working from. Share my screen. There you see it. So you can see both pictures on the screen. I'm not producing the same painting to the photograph, but I am capturing the essence of Catherine Hepburn. It will change a lot. Actually, the more you go finer into detail, the more you see, and you can, with the oil paint, you can really move the paint around over quite a long period of time. So that's what I'll be doing. So just to recap, I started obviously with a blank canvas. It's quite an old canvas. I've found the center of the canvas, which is around about here, which is always deceptive. I always work from the center of the canvas. And then I started to mark out these points with dark. So I've worked quite quickly. Well, much more amazing. It's probably 2 hours work to get this far with acrylics. I'm just going to really want to get paint on the whole of the canvas as acrylic, like as for the underpainting. Like this side is always the most trickiest. Actually, we don't know much about people's ears, do we? We know lots about their but we don't look at each other's ears a lot. Well, probably some people do, but I certainly don't, which makes it more complicated. So I'm going to start painting and working, and so I'm looking at the photo, you're looking at me. Right, okay, so what I want to do is, like I say, I want to put some more paint on this here. So I've got a bit of yellow ochre, which I'm just going to put a few spots around here, and I've also got some black, which I'm just going to put a few dots here as well, because I want sort of grey. Bits of grey and yellow, basically. Not the yellow ochre. So, and I'll keep a little water pot down here for the sake of ease. And a towel, just an old towel, really. It's really good. Like, a lot of the time I don't need to clean my brush too much, but on this, for this exercise, I'm going to have to. So I've got on my plastic palette, see I'm using it again. That all dries out, but when I've finished, I can just throw this top sheet away and use it again. But I can use this, I've just got white on here, so I'm just going to work this paint with white and grey and these bits of yellow ochre. Really, all I want to do is I'm not worrying about if I'm going over what I've done before. I just want to get paint on the whole of this canvas this time. Like I say, if I was completing the acrylic painting, I may approach it a little bit different. It's just decided to come off the easel, which is a common occurrence. It drives me mad. I'm sure somebody's done a video somewhere explaining how you can get it never to do it. I haven't watched it. So when I'm doing my big paintings, I'm lucky because I've got another easel here the same as this, and I put the two together so that I don't get that problem if I'm doing a big painting and I'm getting really into the whole mood of it. There's nothing worse than it falls off the easel. Well, there are a few things worse. Like I did the other day, I went to get some acrylic black paint and the paint exploded all over my trousers. That's probably more annoying. So I did put some marks there. The thing with the acrylic, which is good, the marks that you've made don't completely go away. I put them just to, because there's some sort of curtains and stuff behind here, which I can refer to when I come back to the painting, when I'm on oils. I'll just get a bit more dark black. Talking of the black, I've got it here from where I put it all over my trousers. So I quite like the grey, a grey background, a grey, blue. And sort of yellowy over here. I just want to get rid of these lines here because they're not helpful now. I realise they're sort of not quite in the right. See, if I've got the background and got some paint on the background, I can do my last informed painting on the face when I've got all the paint on here. I can take this right to the edge of where I think her face is. This cheek is quite crucial to Catherine Hepburn's, and of course her lips and this cheek really define this image. She's a beautiful bone structure, face, and a pride and a cheerful disposition. I think she's definitely had a cheerful disposition. Maybe like the cheerful disposition is something to look into if we want our lives to continue for any amount of time. Not easy, is it? It's not easy to have a cheerful disposition. So I'm going to put paint all over here, even though I'm going to be putting stuff on top. There we go. Right, I'm quite happy with this side. It's this side that I needed to. Right, so let's just have a look, go behind the camera and have a look at this without knocking the camera over, hopefully. Yes, indeed. So yeah, so you can see it's we've got paint pretty well on all the canvas. I'm just going to put some darker marks in here and then finish probably, because I've got paint pretty well all over here, which is just an indication. I'm thinking it'd be nice if she's wearing this, you know, these actually, the color tones go nicely in here. But when I start to put oils on, or you start to put oils on your piece of work, the oil starts to look different and it will change again. So you go through the whole process kind of again, but all the information that you've taken on internally about your understanding of the image that you're isn't wasted. It's like you'll paint the oil painting with a much more informed and in an informed manner, and that's what's important about it. Or helpful. It's really helpful. I didn't always used to do this acrylic to start with, but I found through trial and error that this takes me to the route that I want. You see, you can see when you put new paint on and you've got paint on there before, it's kind of makes the paint you put on there kind of disappointing. And it's because this is wet, so it's shining, it's got light in it. And this is duller, and that's another thing with acrylics, is that it's just got a different, with the oil, when you start to work with the oil paints, it takes a long time for it to dry. So it keeps this aliveness much longer. That's why I really, for my style of work and what I do and the way that I work through it, that oil paints is, when I just literally, when I started to paint oils a few years ago, it was like I realized it was the medium I wanted to work in. So there's lots of myths about oils, that it's dirty, it's dangerous, etc., etc. But you'll see all over YouTube lots of artists saying it's not true. Brian, I'm saying it's not true either. The mediums and everything that you can use with oil paint, that's where the danger lies, really, health-wise. So I don't use the mediums, not because of the health thing, it's just I don't. Well, I think with this, like underpainting, that kind of necessity's diminished. So I'm going to start to put some darker. Before I was using burnt sienna and reds there. This time I'm going to use raw burnt umber, still reds, but darker. So it's darker over here. I'm just going to get an idea of it. I'm not really worried about it, getting it completely accurate. So I've got an idea that it is down there somewhere. Just put this dark stuff down here. It's going to be darker there anyway, and it's going to be darker on the darker there. I'm definitely going to, she's a burnt umber sienna girl. I painted Janis Joplin and she was definitely red when I painted Janis Joplin. She's a red underneath, red personality, but this wonderful lady is burnt sienna, is sort of reds and ochres, with pinks and ochres, red pinks, but sort of, yeah. So it's like personality. I kind of, so I think her hair, this is her hair as well here, I think. It'll be here, it'll be around there. So somewhere there's like long hair at this particular time. Like I say, it was probably quite a while ago. So just push this little bit in there a little bit. And so we're nearly there. I'm pretty sure I've got to a point where I just want to put some dark marks in here to try and get the back of the yeah, because there's sort of a shirt collar in here. There's a shirt collar. And there's shadow in there. There's shadow basically. The back is going to be there. Maybe I'll just pop a bit of white on there. Just giving a sense of where the ear is without kind of worrying too much about it. Sense of the placement of the ear, that's going to change over and over again. All of this. So just a little bit more detail in there while I'm on it. There's a nice tone. You see, you get them by luck sometimes. Oh, that's a nice turn. She was married to Spencer Tracy, wasn't he? He was very fair-skinned, like myself. I think she's quite olive-skinned. Right, and there's just this neckline. Again, that will change a few times, but if I can just get a sense of it and just whiz around here with a bit of light, just so I can see where, just have a little idea where these shirt pieces of shirt are going to be. Bit of blue. I'm just trying to know where they are. I'm not really worried about anything else about knowing where these little, so I can review it. I'll take photos and then I take it away on my phone. I'll keep looking at it. I'll keep looking at the original image and start to draw some, so I can move on to the oil paints with a bit more informed, in a bit more of an informed way. So there we go. There we have it. That's part 4 done. I'm going to leave this now for a couple of days because I'm really busy doing other things like, yes, rehearsals and stuff for a show, and oh, let's be creative, live a creative life and all that. And so thank you so much for watching. If you have watched, look at the other videos on the build up to this. I'm really quite happy. I've got something to work from there. It's going to be a great painting. And already I can see like the mouth's going to be moving. I like essentially where the ears, the eyes are. That mark for the ear gives me a sort of idea of the whole composition. That little bit of flesh tones that I've just put in helps balance it out just down into the neckline. So all in all, really great, and a lot of it's down to you guys. I'm doing it for you guys. So thank you very much.